Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on our bottom right side as the yellow English, we have Beasty. Spawn on top left side as the pink Abbasid Dynasty, we have Major in DENTistry. Wait, that name was different from the replay description. The replay description said like something like, only fans when, I think it was. Weird. He must have changed his name because that was a really stupid name joke, so. Either way, of course, English versus Abbasid Dynasty. Let's see which landmarks people go for first. Oh, then again, more like what wing for him, because Abbasid Dynasty technically only has one landmark. This one. I suppose technically the town center makes it two, but that's nothing real special. This is going for the economic wing. Council hall, pretty standard early too. People think of the economic hall for the first early economy. And the council hall is very nice to have because having cheap, or not necessarily cheaper longbowmen, they're actually the same price, but able to save the 300 wood from building 2 archer ranges in comparison. It is quite a nice little buff there. Benefit there. Both players are now at feudal age. Yellow does have a bunch of sheeple following his scout, and you have now some early longbowmen pushing ways forward now. The scout does scout out ahead for them, does spot these villagers collecting these berries. And now we got the first longbowman advancing on forward. Let's see, we do not have any sort of military units on the field for the Abbasid Dynasty player, but we do have 1 horseman on the build queue, which will be very useful dealing with these longbowmen, that's for sure. Of course, you need a bit more than just 1, probably. There's a point, the emphasis on early scouting when fighting against, what's it called? Early English, because you need to see if he goes. You need to see if your opponent's going for these longbowmen. Horsemen trying to deal with these longbowmen now. I think the town center did find a single arrow there. Does deal with 1 longbowman there. Now the other longbowman's still firing away. I already start coughing because it's damn sickness. The scout can't provide much fire support there because it only does 1 damage per hit. Longbowman or horseman down to 3 health, 2 health, and does manage to pick off that horseman before taking down this last longbowman. 2 more longbowmen are out on the field. No additional horsemen at the moment. Horsemen. Town center now being deployed on out. And this longbowman just going to fire some more arrows on that mill there. We do have a bit of research by both sides. We've got wheelbarrow, food, and wood upgrades for yellow. We do, of course, had some sort of person icon there collecting. Is this technology? I'm not sure what that technology was. And now I got this horseman. It looks like the horseman, fresh horseman does take out that single longbowman. Currently on the field, there is 1 longbowman, 1 scout. This is Yellow's entire army right there. Pink does have, of course, another horseman on the build queue, trying to deal with these longbowmen. Yellow may want to eye a barracks out to get a additional, what's it called? Good volley there by the town center, and that longbowman will go down. You may want to get out some spearmen to deal with these horsemen. But right now, there's just simply a single scout. Yellow's eyeing for our early eco after that aggression. We got these guys at the town bell activated, so he knows there's a guy nearby. That's scout. And these horsemen are advancing forward, trying to deal with the scout. The scout looks like he will go down. Scout will go ahead and go on down there. We do have this pink scout in the region, and pink now behind some aggression, but there's 3 town centers here for a lot of coverage, so he's unlikely able to get any kill of these villagers. He has a very good entrenchment. So I hit my microphone, my apologies. Now we've got a handful of stables employed now in the field. He may be eyeing for some knights. He's approaching enough economy for knight for aging up to castle age. Horsemen charge on forward, trying to find some of these villagers. Does manage to pull back there at the last moment. And now we've got a handful of farms being pulled out as well. King's Palace now being pulled on out by yellow. That is the town center. So technically we'll have 4 town centers. That may be a little bit overkill, honestly. But yellow's village production should be skyrocketing. Pink, of course, does have this town center over here, as well as 2 over here. These villagers need to fall back. They do fire volley arrows. They're going to micro themselves. Remember, English villagers can have their long bows themselves, or just at least a hand bow, in order to help defend themselves. King's Palace will see a bit of fire there. He's throwing a lot of torches into it, but he will not get destroyed. Now going for these villagers. Yellow's attention has been drawn off and does get some damage there. Town center, of course, has 2 arrows to fire out with. And now we've got more horsemen streaming on forward. Of course, there's too many town centers in this region for them to be real effective. Fires a good volley arrows there with the villagers, and they're going to be falling back. At this point in time, Pink just needs to set up his horses as a campaign, and then start eyeing either aggressively expanding or start building more of a siege force. We do not see any wings being put out just yet. Pink's going for a handful of palisade walls there, and now we've got the military ring being researched. Scout now being pursued. More housing course being pulled on out. That scout course will easily go down to those horsemen. Horsemen charging forward once again. Town centers are firing a bunch of defensive arrows. Getting some good damage there. And Pink's now going for another line of walls over here, trying to put out some barracks. Do now have a knight to run field, and I heard, did somebody just delete a whole bunch of stuff? It sounded like a delete command. Villager will not complete that wall, though then again they're just wooden walls, so they can be easily torched down by many things. Town center's in a great position there. Horsemen are charging forward. We do have the +1 pierce armor being researched by Pink. Now these horsemen are falling back. Got single knights being pulled on out for defense. Very good. Recently I played a replay where I had my woodsman collecting right there, and my opponent was deep tunneling through this forest, and to get to me, the thing is, he deleted off, after when he did that, he deleted all his villagers, going for it all in, and failed. Let me show you guys that replay. You now have some camel riders deployed on the field. Camel riders, of course, an anti-cavalry unit. They get +14 versus cavalry, so 28 damage versus cavalry. That is equivalent to the charge attack of knights, but knights also get damage debuff or from those camels. Yellow's not going for a handful of walls there to prevent Pink from pulling out his walls. And it looks like this knight and scout will be just pursued. Oh, we got these horsemen here. They're going to find a whole bunch of villagers there. These villagers need to start falling back. They're going to receive a lot of fire. They may be busy microing somewhere else. Yellow's going to lose a handful of villagers there. Grand horsemen are not the highest damage unit. They do right now 9 damage. Knights now pushing way forward. They have dealt with a scout, and now they're going to be eyeing these horsemen now. Knights are falling back away from these camels. These camels still being a very, very big problem. And now we've got a line of palisade walls being put out by yellow as well. Zelot Doggy trying to eat the monk. We've got some routes being claimed by yellow now. And these horsemen may find this monk. Knight's pulling him back. Or just distracting his opponent. Looks like Pink's pushing forward, trying to pull out a palisade wall right there. And the wolf is still trying to eat the monk. We do have an outpost here. That won't exactly save the villagers, but at least can give them a good castle network bonus. And this knight will push on forward. Will not claim any villagers there. Actually, no, he did claim a villager right there. And this horseman is going to try to stop these palisade walls from being built. Archers, oh yeah! The aura benefit does also support the villagers to defend themselves. That's interesting. Never thought about that. So the villagers' attack is 5, and these horsemen have 3 pierce armor, so they're doing 2 damage per arrow. So it takes about 55 arrows to take them out, or 53 arrows. Villager count is very similar, 101 to 104. Do have a handful of barracks being pulled on out here. Pink's now going for a veteran horseman and more pierce armor. Camels pushing way forward. This villager still building some more palisade walls. This time fully wrapping around Yellow's palisade walls. And Yellow has claimed a good number of relics. This monk needs to get back to the monastery. Knights charging forward. They do get a good damage strike there onto the camels, but there's a lot of camels, so these horsemen are completely worthless versus camels. I always find this camel and ease benefit. Since I play Mongols, this thing just hurts way too much. In which it basically completely neuters your opponent's all cavalry play, which is honestly not a really good design. If it completely nullifies a design like that just from even existing, having one on the field, it's way too effective. I'm fine with the camels having good bonus damage versus knights, but I think the aura there could also needs to be adjusted. If they want to apply a debuff while upon attacking, that would make a bit more sense. These camels do also have very little armor, 2 pierce armor. The longbowman will get some good damage there. Longbowman trying to get inside the town center so they can fire a bit more safely from there. Granted, they don't get any additional damage, but at least it's safer. We're gonna mark it here. Bill's trying to run away from these camels. And these villagers are currently stuck right there, so unable to retreat on back. Camels, however, getting a lot of hits on the horsemen. We also got a couple monks here for healing. Very nice. And Yellow's not going for a handful of palisade walls there. Yellow has isolated himself to a small part of the map. He does have 2 gold deposits in his side of the map, but Pink has now technically claimed this area on his side, potentially. So just these 2 here. Pink has more gold potential in his sector. So Yellow will need to either go for some trade caravans, but the market's over here, so that's not really a possibility either. So Yellow needs to eye for a breakout. He cannot play the waiting game because he simply does not have the gold for that, nor the gold secure for it. So has plenty of gold to play around with, around 16,000 gold. And more close to 13,000, so that's plenty of gold to play around with. But he still needs to start eyeing forward gold deposits. Palisade walls starting to go on down. We got these horsemen and longbowmen trying to advance through this wall there. And we got a number of horsemen to support Pink as well. Oh, we got Yellow's villagers charging forward, trying to pull out forward, keep trying to secure that gold, as I mentioned beforehand. He has to play a bit more aggressive to that gold, and pink and yellow will break through. Doesn't even get inside this tower there. It goes down, so he does create this breach there. Speaking of breach, pink has created his own breach, and there's nothing here really for defense. We got a handful of spearmen. He needs more spearmen in this region. He's a lot of camel riders. The longman will have a bit of trouble versus the heavy armored man-at-arms versus the mix as well. Yellow's advancing for this region, not pulling these forces back. More longbow can pull it on out, more spearmen as well. There are veteran spearmen. And these camels starting being loaded down by the spearmen. We got, however, more man-at-arms to move forward. So Yellow will need to pull out some crossbows as well. Town Center is firing away, has a handful of villagers on the inside. Spearmen are getting some damage there. Dealing with the rest of his camels now. So another camel in this region. And Yellow's now eyeing for a counterattack, so has a good number of our longbowmen here to help hit these villagers. We've got some hand cannons in the mix. They don't care what they shoot at as long as they're shooting at something. And there's no camels to provide debuff to his opponent's horsemen. Yellow is still trying to deal with this invasion. The villager count is still quite similar. In fact, Yellow still has a slight advantage. Yellow's now advancing forward, trying to get some more pressure in this region, but he is trying to get forced back. These bumpers getting some great work done right there. And now we got a Berkshire Castle here. How far? Oh, the Berkshire Castle can reach all the way over here, so eventually Pink's Woodline will be on the siege. That Berkshire Castle, I suppose you can't exactly stall that out, but both players are now in Pure Age. Yellow still has a breach over here. Keep has him set up here. Yellow's claiming this gold. You can be a bit more inefficient in your economy balancing if you try and claim the gold from your opponent. Yellow could start eyeing a keep, and he is eyeing a mining camp over here. Claiming this gold early on is very, very important. Even if you get a partial amount, at least denies that from your opponent. Yellow's now advancing forward with a sector of a handful of forces. He's going to advance forward with a handful of elite horsemen. We do have this castle here, upgrading to the oil. And Yellow is going to burn through that palisade wall there. Keeps not firing away, getting some damage on these forces. Ink does can destroy some of his own walls there to allow advancing this region. Ink's going to avoid this keep and go straight for his opponent over here. Large number of spearmen here. He needs some. Doesn't really need siege. Well, I may have enough force here to deal with the town center, but needs to deal with all the structures as well. A handful of siege units wouldn't be half bad. Outposts being pulled on out. We got these villagers getting some damage there onto these spearmen. So Yellow's doing a good job over here, but just only hitting military units, not the structures themselves. Horsemen pushing way forward. We got some man-at-arms and spearmen for here for defense. These horsemen are going straight for this gold line, trying to deny this gold line. Villagers trying to back on off, actually hitting the outpost first, trying to deny the rate attack increase. Yellow's now advancing forward, getting some spearmen into this region with some crossbowmen support. Crossbowmen, that's not like a great item that's void in time, since the opponent's pulling out a large number of horsemen. And Pink's also has now deployed out a pair of battery rams somewhere. Berkshire Castle and King's Castle, Palace getting some good damage there. King's Castle doesn't even have an auto attack. Horsemen now engaging these man-at-arms, spearmen trying to clear with these horses. Yellow has probably far too many villagers. He's having trouble deploying an army with that many villagers. Though, if he can quickly claim this gold, that is very important. This gold has not been fully claimed. Not sure what these villagers are doing. Ah, that's a large number of battery rams. This is what he's trying to do with that keep over there. Yellow does keep Pink at his base. He does have a... Oh, Berkshire Castle now firing away here. Very, very nice. Times we wish you playing Mongols could just pack it up and move forward as well. He could try eye for some keeps here, but he'd be vulnerable to trebuchets to be pulled out over here. Battery Ram's now pushing way forward, trying to get some good damage here. Gold being claimed here. The villagers need to stop collecting that stone and start torching down these battering rams, but he's probably busy microing. And right now, they're pretty close to meeting each other through right here. The Berkshire Castle is a great hard one there, but maybe some extra outposts wouldn't hurt. Villagers now torch down those battering rams there, and we'll take time to repair up the keep. Very nice. Apologies. Still recovering from this cold. Villagers going to take time to shank that horseman. The horseman has only 3 melee armor, while the villagers do have 7 attack there, so they will do some good damage there. They just have a very poor rate of hitting, nearly 4 attack speed. He's now going for a secondary line of stone walls there. Very nice. And got more batteries pushed way forward. I think this keep will finally be cleaned on up. He has claimed half that stone, not half the gold, but at least get a good portion away from his opponent. Yellow does have a pretty good float of resources. He may be getting pretty close to the boy out Wonder. He's swung out forward. Keep right here. There is now a breach there. Man-at-Arms charging forward, trying to get some good engagement there. Pink's Man-at-Arms starts in a general move order. Needs to start in an attack move order. Got these veteran camo archers here. They do extra damage with light melee. Battery Rams hitting this keep. Keep has now for 1 now gets the castle network benefit. Likely he has upgraded the castle network. Yep, 40%. Man-at-Arms do deal with those battery rams there. Starting to repair the keep now. The keep's now being upgraded with the spring gold and the cannon placement. Insufficient stone there. Okay, that's not good. Speaking of stone, the stone has been denied. Now Pink has a large number of battery rams and horsemen there. Barons will take up quite a bit of population space, so they will be pushed forward and perhaps maybe engage the town of his opponent. But can't get resources like the Mongols. Got a good number of mangonels here. I think Pink has only 74 villagers remaining, and maybe has too many siege units. He needs some more villagers. He's lost a good number of them. Man-at-Arms just streaming the way forward, trying to get some good damage there. It's not looking good for Pink. Yellow is streaming forward with a massive wave of counterweight trebuchets. Going straight forward. And remember, his opponent only has 2 wonders. He's Abbasid Dynasty. Granted, the House of Wisdom has a lot of resource, a lot of health, but these trebuchets pose a massive threat to his opponent and knock him out based on landmarks. Yellow's not going for a handful of Palisade Walls there, trying to keep his trebuchets alive. This is a lethal position there, and Pink does back up the game now. This is Adam Gray saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.